What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 124, and we start today's episode off with the Champions League semi-final, second leg here in Munich at the Allianz Arena for the tie. Bayern Munich against West Bromwich Albion, and of course the first leg in England finished as a 0-0 draw. So coming into this game, you'd probably say with the home ground advantage, if you will, that Bayern Munich would be the favourites, but whoever wins this game will be taking on Real Madrid in the final. They beat Chelsea in the second leg by 1-0, so on aggregate by 3-1. But of course, despite drawing the first game 0-0 and knowing this is going to be a bit of a different ball game for us, playing away from home, we did know that one away goal would mean that we would have the away goal ruling in our favour, because Bayern Munich didn't score in England and they'd have to score 2 goals for every one we get. So as we do take on Bayern Munich, you can see by my lineup we did rest 10 players for the game against Everton on the weekend, so everyone was fully fit, fighting fit and ready to go for this game. And the first chance would fall pretty much straight from kickoff as Bayern Munich get the ball away, and my aim right from the beginning really was to try and suck the life out of the game and just pass the ball around, get some early possession, because it's so hard to beat Bayern Munich in the possession battle on this game. So I thought I'd just pass the ball around a little bit and just get a feel for the ball. And as we work our way forward here, Zambrano finding Wilshere to Henderson, back to Zambrano. There's no real urgency in our play. Usually I'm doing a fast counter-attacking style where I'm just, putting the ball on the wings and just sprinting down the right hand side and eventually taking on the fullback and crossing the ball in. But in this game, as you can see, it was more about the controlled style of passing right from the beginning. But as Salvio does go down the right hand side here, usually in that situation I crossed the ball, but I passed it back, kept hold of the ball. Wilshere goes down the left hand side and picks out Andre Carrillo. He also doesn't cross the ball, he cuts inside, gives it to Jack Wilshere. Wilshere finds Henderson, and in the 7th minute Jordan Henderson makes it 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion. A lovely team goal. I think I counted 23 passes there, maybe 22, maybe 24, but around 23 passes in total, which, may not sound like a lot, but when you consider how this game works, usually it's only like 2 or 3, and then the ball's in the back of the net, depending on what play style you have. But at first, I was celebrating one of the team goals of the series, but as you'll see, it did take a huge deflection off Benatti, I think it was, who got the shot right in the right in the face, really. It deflected past Neuer, and, to beat Manuel Neuer, you either need something special or a real stroke of fortune, and that was certainly the latter. A huge deflection off the defender, it finds the back of the net. Jordan Henderson's going to celebrate the goal, he's going to claim it, but it was such a big deflection there. That's what took it past Neuer, and it's still a lovely team goal. But as we take a 1-goal lead here in Germany, it was just the absolute perfect start. Sturridge goes close a few minutes later to try and equalise there. It was just a perfect start. I wanted an away goal, I wanted to get one early, and that's exactly what we have. So 1-0 to us, and another good chance there in the 14th minute for Bayern Munich to hit back there, but Schweinsteiger's shot went harmlessly over the bar, and it was still 1-0. And again, a few minutes later, Bayern Munich on the ball again, some lovely passing. Alaba collects the ball and finds Thomas Müller, and his strike is saved by Joe Hart and turned behind for a corner. So we knew, right from the beginning, as soon as we scored, that was going to be the call and the signal for Bayern Munich to up the tempo, up the pressure, and put us under an immense amount of pressure. And they did actually have the ball in the back of the net in the 34th minute here, but thankfully for us, the linesman denied. I'm not sure who it was, I think it might have been Lewandowski running forward there, or possibly Müller, but still the shot did go over Joe Hart into the back of the net, but thankfully it was disallowed for offside. So still 1-0, but as we expected, as soon as we scored that opening goal, Bayern Munich just came at us like a pack of lions, but thankfully it was still 1-0, and from the free kick we go forward down the right hand side, Salvio drilling in a cross, and Lacazette's shot denied by Dante. I thought he was going to find the back of the net, and the Brazilian diverts the ball out for a corner, and it was still 1-0, so almost making it 2-0 there before half time, but unfortunately for us it was still 1-0. In the 41st minute here again, Joe Hart is called into action. Daniel Sturridge's shot being well saved by his England colleague Joe Hart, and the score was still 1-0. And on the stroke of half time, as Carrillo wins the ball back here, he goes on a run down the right hand side and shoots. And again, Neuer is called into action, makes a very good save, and it's still 1-0. So, we weren't just sitting back and letting Bayern Munich have all the chances. We were having a few ourselves, trying to score ourselves a second away goal. And again, Neuer had to be called into action there after Niang's shot was saved by the German. So still 1-0 from the corner. It's Jack Wilshere who ends up crossing the ball into the centre. Sane wins the header, and again Neuer has to turn it behind for a corner. So still 1-0, and in the second half it was almost like Bayern Munich had ran out of steam after so much pressure in the first half, because they weren't really doing anything. And as we went on the counter here, Niang was played through one-on-one with Manuel Neuer. He rounds him with a body feint, and well, Niang, who is usually so composed in that situation, I got it horribly wrong there and put the shot into the side netting with virtually an open goal. It was a tight angle, but still. But in the 85th minute, he had a chance to make up for it, and he did oblige the chance. He made it 2-0 with 5 minutes to go, and that sealed the tie. And it really was funny because in the first half, it was just a matter of when Bayern Munich were going to score. You know, not if they would, but when they'd score, because they had so many chances. But in the end, they never did, and it was just like the first leg. You know, they had so many opportunities, so many chances, and as Niang finishes the game and finishes the tie off here with 5 minutes to go, with a lovely finish after cutting through the left-hand side, getting his 7th goal in the Champions League. Joe Hart celebrates, the team celebrates, the fans celebrate. We are through to the Champions League final, absolutely incredibly. But I had to say, you know, straight after the game, I basically went downstairs, made myself a cup of tea, and thought, how on earth did I get through that tie? You know, how on earth are we into the Champions League final? Because they were so much better than us. And yes, we did play pretty well, especially in the second half. Yes, we did do enough to get through, and that's the most important thing. As I always say, you know, the football is a game of chances. You've got to be clinical. But it's still ridiculous how, you know, we got dominated for so many periods of that game. So, well, you know, for both of the games, really, you know, Bayern Munich were the better team. And the fact we went through is a testament to Joe Hart, as per usual, on fire. And the fact of the matter is, they just didn't do enough in front of goal, and they only have themselves to blame. But still, focus on the positives. We made it through. We're into the Champions League final. Absolutely delighted about that. Really happy. I didn't know whether we could do it in our first season. I certainly thought we could get close. I thought semi-finals, certainly round of 16 quarter-finals should be happening with this team, even if it is our debut season, let's be honest, because it's so good. But to get to the Champions League final, regardless of what happens, you got to say it's been a very good season, and it's not over yet in both competitions, because in the Premier League, as you can see, with just a few games to go, we're still going for that total points accumulated record, fewest goals conceded, and also the undefeated season too. So still 3 records to go for, and we take on Sunderland for this game here. And as you can see, well, we didn't have the Champions League hangover, if you will. We didn't come back from the Bayern Munich game just completely out of steam. We came out of the blocks flying in this game, and just a few minutes in, Niang makes it 1-0 there, as Kostel Pantilimon really got nowhere near it. And for a giant goalkeeper of his stature, he should be coming for those crosses and getting to them, not getting caught in no man's land. But Niang makes it 1-0, and in the 28th minute here, Jordan Henderson finds Wilfried Zaha down his left-hand side. Good ball forward towards Niang, and again, it's Kostel Pantilimon getting caught in no man's land as Niang goes a bit too far wide. I cut inside and smashed the ball past the giant goalkeeper and made it Sunderland 0, West Brom 2. So 2 goals in quick succession for Mbaye Niang here with 29 minutes on the clock. And Pantilimon again, probably you got to point the fingers there. First for his lack of judgment, then once he gets himself set, should not be getting beat as near post there. But it is 2-0, and in the 34th minute, we win the ball back here again. Niang's on the ball, stops it, fake shots around Pantilimon, who again, you got to ask, what is he doing there? Seriously. He makes it 3-0, a hat-trick for Niang in a space of 12 in-game minutes, and the game is sealed already. It's Sunderland 0, West Brom 3. The guy has just been, like, ever since I signed the guy, you know, he had a dream debut scoring against Arsenal in the first season, in his first game, and I didn't know how well he was going to turn out for us, but he's been absolutely extraordinary, and he's now got his 28th goal in the Premier League this season. So Sunderland 0, West Brom 3. They did hit the post here in the 39th minute as they tried to grab themselves a goal back. Yeah, possibly trying to get themselves back in the game there, but the shot did smack the woodwork, and from the throw-in after the ball is cleared here, it comes to Andre Carrillo down this right-hand side, who plays the ball forward quickly towards Mbaye Niang, who stops the ball and cuts past his man with Ronaldo chop, chips it through towards Lacazette. A great chance here as he runs through one-on-one, but I messed up the finish, and his shot goes wide of the post, so I should have made it 4-0, but my fault for a poor finish. And in the 58th minute here, Stephen Fletcher's on the ball and finds Liam Brickut. Jack Rodwell finds Stephen Fletcher, and Fletcher's strike is saved by Hart, and we get the ball away. So Hart desperate to make sure he does keep the record this season for the fewest goals conceded in the Premier League season. And in the 73rd minute here, Sunderland should have scored themselves. They're crossing into the box, and again Hart this time not really the most convincing, coming out for that cross and not meeting it, just like Pantilimon did in the first half, but the header went wide of the post. And in the 77th minute, Lavazja's on the ball down the right hand side. He crosses the ball in towards Jack Rodwell, and his header goes wide and behind for a goal kick. So still 3-0, and you know, Sunderland did have chances in this game, but the fact of the matter is they just weren't clinical in front of goal when they had them, whereas we were. And in stoppage time here, as we came forward looking for a 4th goal, Ravel Morrison played the ball forward towards Andy Carroll. Bruno Alves loses out in the air. Carroll goes through, half volleys the ball into the back of the net, and Andy Carroll, a former Newcastle striker, this wouldn't go down very well at the Stadium of Light, a former Newcastle striker scoring here. Carroll makes it Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 4 as he came off the bench, puts it into the back of the net, and makes it Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 4. And as you'll see directly from kickoff, Sunderland kick off, and eventually the referee blows for full time. So Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 4, another 3 points. With 4 games to go in the league, we are still going for those records, and into the Champions League final as well. I said in the last episode I wanted a strong finish to the season. That's exactly what we're getting right now. We just got to keep on going, keep up the pressure, and make sure we can achieve all of those 3 aims. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.